Okay, hey guys. Um, I just wanted to talk about something that I feel really strongly about, and I'm just like angry at people for being so completely uneducated about this subject. And the subject is birth control. And yeah, I'm I'm going to use a quote that my critical thinking professor said. He said, birth control pills are not Viagra. You do not pop one every time you have sex. It's okay. They're also not only used for, prevention of pregnancy. Um, like a lot of women have problems that can be really serious. A lot of women can have extreme PMS where they can't even leave the house. It's so bad. And birth control helps with that. And um, this is completely off topic, but like, if you go and you buy some tampons, like on the box it says we donate like not all boxes of tampons, but Tampax. It says we donate feminine hygiene care products to children in Africa so they can go to school while they're on their period. And like the sad thing is like if we take away birth control from these women who need it because they can't leave the house because they are literally in so much pain and some are physically like sick and throwing up and they cannot leave the house because of it, we're gonna have that same problem here. They're not gonna be able to go to school, they're not gonna be able to go to work, they're not gonna be able to go out and buy groceries, they're not gonna be able to do anything during their period because they're gonna be so sick that they literally cannot do anything. And I'm so lucky that I'm not one of those people. And it just kind of makes me mad because like these people are like, oh well, I'm against abortions, but I'm also against birth control. And I'm like, how does that make any sense? Because you're against the one thing that can reduce abortions like majorly. You're like, oh no, birth control needs to be outlawed. No, it doesn't, because it's gonna create more abortions. Do you not understand that? Because I don't care how much you tell people not to have sex. I don't care how much you teach abstinence to children. People are still gonna have sex before they're married, and people are still gonna have children out of wedlock. I don't care. Okay, it's been happening since the beginning of time. That's why in the Bible, when you have sex, you're married. Because a child could come out of that. And now we have created things that prevent those children from coming about. That's why we don't marry someone as soon as we have sex with them. Because that would be stupid. And, that's not how we live anymore. We don't live in biblical times, people. This is not 2,000 years ago. This is 2,000 years now. Okay, it just makes me so mad that people are like, I don't agree with teens like having sex because I know I can't stop it. I guess I just don't like it because they're too young. I personally feel like they're too young to handle that kind of decision. And a lot of girls, if you ask them, regret their first time having sex because they did it way too young. And that's another thing. That's something that we as a society need to educate young people about. That not everybody's having sex. It's not what you think. And just because somebody's pressuring you doesn't mean you have to do it. But I guess it just makes me mad because these people are acting like we're all going to hell in a handbasket or something because we have birth control. And like honestly, I don't like the lady who really like began Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger. She's a eugenist, and I don't know if like everybody knows what that is, but basically she believed that there were superior people and unsuperior people should not have the right to reproduce, and that included minority groups. So yeah, I don't like her. I don't like her ideals, but I mean, just because she didn't create birth control, she just advocated that, like, back in her time you couldn't say anything about birth control. You couldn't, I mean, it's better. Basically, like, she said that it publicly, she said that it was because she didn't want women to be like her mother, and her mother had to keep having babies, and her mom didn't want babies, but she was a eugenist. And honestly, that's why I like Planned Parenthood. If you ever see where Planned Parenthoods are, they're in predominantly black neighborhoods, and that is why. Sorry, but it's the truth. But she didn't create birth control. She just advocated the education of it for the wrong reasons, yes. But I mean, we've come a long way in birth control. I mean, we have shots now. We have pills where you don't even have to have your period all the time. It's not a very good idea if you're sexually active, but if you're not, I mean, come on. I mean, when I have a full period. But no, it, I mean, it's just, we've come a long way and we've learned a lot, and we don't use birth control in that way anymore. You know, how many white people use birth control? A lot. Okay? It's not used for the purposes it is advocated for. And I mean, really, if you take away birth control, you're basically telling a woman that she has to have a kid regardless of whether or not she wants it. Because guess what? Married women use birth control too. So there's that. I mean, you're telling a woman that she can either choose between having sex with her husband or not having a kid. Bam. There's your two choices. When that's even just ridiculous to think about. I mean, it's not even like a pro-choice thing. It's a pro-choice for, hey, I can have as many kids as I want because I have a say too. It's my body. You know, it's, sorry, you know, whoever. And, okay, so they just passed this bill where, like, this makes me sick. This makes me sick. If you have a natural abortion, that means that your body has a natural abortion is when your fetus dies naturally. And yes, actually the medical term for that is an abortion, but it's a natural abortion. There's you can have a choice to have an abortion, or you can have a natural abortion. It's the same thing. And basically what happens if you have a miscarriage, you have to keep your baby inside of you. You have no choice. After, what is it, 20 weeks, I think it is? After 20 weeks, if you have a miscarriage, your baby's staying inside of you. You cannot use any unnatural ways of having the baby come out. Yeah. Because you chose to have your baby die. That's what happened. I forgot. It makes me angry because the woman is in enough emotional pain, probably wondering what she did wrong for the past 20 weeks. Or however many weeks, because after 20 weeks you have to keep it inside you until it comes out naturally. So for however long she's been carrying that child, she's already having to wonder what she did wrong for that amount of time, what she did wrong in her life to make her lose that child, and to make her carry it until it just naturally comes out is just, it's like punishing the woman for something she didn't choose. She didn't choose that. You know, that's, and irregardless, even if she had, it's a hard enough choice to make without making people feel terrible about it as well, and making people think that they're damned to a place that doesn't even fucking exist. Seriously. It makes me so angry. You have no idea. Because if it was me, if I lost my baby after 20 weeks, I'd want my baby out of me and have a funeral for it. And then go on with my life. I don't want to have to go on for however long it takes for it to come out naturally, knowing that it's dead. Knowing that when it comes out, it's gotta be put in a coffin. You know, it would be better if I could remove it the time that I found out about it and put it in a coffin, instead of having however long it takes for it to naturally come out, to think about all the things that I did wrong. Or to walk down the street and have people say, "Oh, how far along are you?" "Oh, I'm sorry, my baby's dead. I just have to carry it around because nobody's giving me a choice." Yeah. That's the reality of that bill. You're gonna walk down the street and you're gonna see a pregnant woman and you're gonna ask her how far along is she, and you're gonna upset her. That's what's gonna happen. Seriously. Has nobody even thought of that? This woman's already devastated and you're asking her about her dead fetus that is inside of her still, that she can't remove because she doesn't have a choice. So now every time she goes out, every single time, I mean, these people are acting like this woman's not gonna go out after this happens. She's gonna have to. Or, yeah, she'll get a couple of days off of work. Whoop-de-frickin-do. She'll have to go back to work in a couple of days. Seriously, I don't understand people's mindsets. It's just, what are you? What? Seriously. And I would be extraordinarily embarrassed if like, say I went to the store or something and I saw my friend there that I hadn't seen in a long time. I was like, "Oh, how's your baby?" Because she looks pregnant. She still has a dead fetus inside of her. And then she has to explain to me. When, if she could have had it removed when she wanted it removed. And I'm not saying like, oh, everybody should have to have it removed right when they find out that it's dead. No, I understand some women do want to have it naturally, whatever, that's their choice. But to make a woman who doesn't want that have to have that is just sick. It's sick. But I guess you just really can't. As much as we all want to change the world, we can't. And I guess it just makes me sad. It upsets me. And I mean, if anybody knows about me, like, if anybody knows me, they know that I'm really ideal in my thinking. And by that I mean, like, I kind of believe that everybody should think like I do because it's how I think. Like, because of the way that I come to believe the things that I believe is through very strong reasoning. And it's so hard when people don't think like I do, because it upsets me a lot, because a lot of times when I come to my reasonings, it's because, like, if I'm against something, it's because it hurts somebody else, and that's what really upsets me, is because I know that these things hurt other people, and I can't change the way those people think. You know, like, I'm not against gay marriage, but I can't change people who are. I can't, and that upsets me because there are so many loving gay couples, and I feel like you should be able to love whoever. And I can't. And that's my rant.